him in spirit and in truth. It's not about the religious authority anymore. Jesus is saying, I'm going to give you access to the Father. I'm going to give my life, and you're going to have access to the Father. I have to go so the Holy Spirit can come. And when the Holy Spirit comes and dwells in you, the Holy Spirit has the ability to give you gifts and talents to use for his kingdom. And it's not just set aside for the select few. They thought if Jesus would rebuke his followers from calling him king, it would change the reality of the moment. That somehow these humans could change what's happening if they would just quit saying the words, quit calling him king. What they didn't understand is they didn't know who they were talking to. The book of John, chapter 1, says that he was always existed. He was with God in the beginning, from the foundations of the world, and nothing was created except through Jesus Christ. He wasn't a created being. He was in human form, but his soul had always existed. He was God in flesh, Emmanuel, with us. They didn't know who they were talking to. They thought he was just some anointed prophet. He's still that same Jesus today. Same power. Look at verse 40 again. The Pharisees try to say, I tell you, replied, if they keep quiet, the stones will cry out. How does Jesus know that? He created the stones. He was there when they were formed. He was there when creation was created. Creation cries out to the Father no matter what. And an argument you'll hear if you try to share your faith, they'll say, well, what about the people that's never heard the gospel? What do you say back to that? If somebody's never heard the gospel, is it fair that God would send them to hell? They've never heard the gospel. They never had a preacher come and give them the 3 points and walk them down the Romans road. Can they still go to heaven? Paul says that nobody can deny the existence of Christ because it's all over creation. Look at the stars in the skies. Look at the heavens. Look at the sun. Look at the moon. Look at our earth. You can go find the smartest surgeon in our world today. Probably, maybe questionably, we'll say it's probably a neurosurgeon. They'll tell you that after all their years of picking brains apart and studying, they still only understand this much of the human brain, how it functions, how it works. Are you going to tell me that there wasn't a creator? We don't even understand with all of our new technology and all the advancements that we make. We think we can Google, we can ask AI, answer any question, and we got all this knowledge and all this wisdom, and it's still nothing compared to what God has. That's the God I serve, not a God that I can put into a test tube and understand and replicate. I serve a God that is so high above my understanding that I can stand up here and I'll tell you for the rest of my life, I don't know. Unless he reveals it to me, because he is much smarter than I am. Thank God. If I was running this show, we'd be in trouble.